Rest in peace, Gold Man. You've been a good one. You see, I've thrown the original seats back in there, and this will be driven to the yard. And unfortunately, the place I'm selling it to, they will crush it because that's what they do. They really don't even sell parts off anything anymore. They just take things and get the catalytic converter off of it and crush it. So I wish I could have salvaged it, but that doesn't appear to be the plan. So life goes on. Way over there, you will see its replacement. And it's odd, as many vehicles as I've had over the years, different ones. I was into sports cars years ago. I've never been attached to a vehicle. I have never regretted getting rid of one, selling one, whatever happened, but I am weirdly emotionally attached to this one. I just like it. I like the way it drives. I like the color. Tried to find a suitable replacement within, a state of here over the course of a few months. One never came up. The ones I ran into, just there was something wrong with, something I didn't want to deal with, too many miles, whatever. So I ended up passing on all of them and going to plan B, which was moving to a different minivan. So that is the way things go. It's a shame because this thing has an absolutely perfect transmission. It doesn't leak any oil. It has an absolutely perfect suspension. The tires on it are pretty new. The front ones probably have 10,000 miles. My buddy couldn't use them. They won't fit the new van that I got, so it just all is what it is. There's things I like better about the new one. There's things I don't like as much about the new one, but I will get used to it because reality is there is no perfect vehicle. None of these are perfect, including this one. There is no perfect brand. Everything has its quirks and issues that come up. Old ones, new ones, brand, it just doesn't make a difference. So we'll roll with it. So this is kind of my tribute to this one, because this is the first one I did, first vehicle I did a cross-country trip in, and just the things I saw and the places I was able to go to with this and the memories that were made from that, I think that's the part that I have trouble letting go of. So I think once I make some memories in the new one, I'll be okay with it. So in future videos, you'll see me doing what I do to transform that one. And I'm going to take you all the way through everything step by step. Exactly what I do when I buy a used vehicle. That one has no major mechanical issues, but there's things I'm going to do anyway to put the odds in my favor when I'm on the road on long trips so I don't break down. And I'm going to walk you through those. I'm going to walk you through the build. I'm going to obviously reuse a lot of things I have from this minivan that I use for a camper. But I'm pretty much going to do a simple no-build with that thing. And there will be some differences. And there has to be because of the way it's laid out, just because, storage compartments are in different places, different things like that. So it'll have to be done a little bit differently. But interior space, as you've heard me say before on minivans, as long as you're buying a regular size minivan, it's all the same regardless of brand, whether you got a Toyota or a Honda or a Kia or a Chevrolet or a Dodge Grand Caravan or whatever. You've got the same dimensions. And that was always why, again, on the road, I like cheaper vehicles that are well maintained. But if I had been, instead of Virginia, Tennessee area, if I'd been in Arizona when this issue came up, I would have immediately junked this one. I would have found me another van and bought it in that area that was in good shape. In 15 minutes, I'd have taken my stuff out of my van into whatever van I bought next, and I would have kept right on rolling down the highway. It would have been very easy for me to do that. And that's one of the advantages of kind of having a no-build or almost a no-build, where you don't have everything permanently, essentially bolted down, because when you do a major rehab on one of these to turn into a camper. You don't have the option to do that. Or you don't have the option to do that easily. So I had always planned ahead. That was always my plan if I was in an accident, or if I had a transmission failure or some major problem that it was going to cost more to fix probably than the vehicle was worth. It's just buy another one, throw the stuff, camping stuff in it, and keep right on rocking down the highway and continue my trip. And again, that's why I talk to everybody, that you need a little bit of an emergency fund also. The closer you stay to home, the less emergency fund you need. But if you're going to be going cross country in these things, and you're going to be making what can turn into 5,000, 6,000 mile round trips, and you have the potential, if you're on one coast or the other, where you actually live, that you have the potential to be 2,000 miles or better from home, then, you need plans and you need the money to cover something coming up. Now, you see a lot of people go to these areas in Arizona, Ehrenberg and Quartzsite, if you've watched anybody on videos. Well, to go to that area for me, from where I live, it is literally exactly 2,000 miles for me to be sitting in Quartzsite when I leave my house. 2,000 miles from home, you have to be prepared for something to happen. And if I'm going to that area, if I'm going to be hanging around Lake Havasu, Arizona, if I'm going to be running up into Nevada and Las Vegas and different places, Utah, that's a long way from home base for me. It's a long way from home base for anybody coming from the East Coast. And you West Coast folks that are going exploring the East Coast, it's the same thing. So I've met too many people on the road that something happens, they get into bad situations, and they just don't have a way out. They're just trapped and stranded, and you don't ever want to be in that situation. So you definitely, if you don't have a lot of money put away, you want to be staying a little bit closer to home until you get that fund built up to where you can comfortably do that. And then you're not going to have stress and worry about something happening, because you already have a plan, you're already covered. But in the comments, I'd love for you to let me know what you think, what you don't think. Are you looking forward to seeing what I do with the other van? Have you had situations where you've been out on the road and you've had to, unfortunately, permanently retire a van or a minivan while you've been traveling? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear your stories. More good van and travel stuff will be mixed in with the build that I'm going to be doing on the new minivan. Of course, I still have the larger van, the Road Trek. I'm going to be traveling in it in the meantime. I'm getting ready to take a trip in it right now. So you're going to see a lot of different things mixed in. Hopefully, some of those things will appeal to you, and we'll talk soon.